This is the Troll Patrol, live with Justin FREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol, live. Oh shit, Justin Mullins. I love doing this show for you, my freaking followers. It's a freaking Monday. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. We have a jam-packed show for you. A lot of talk about the sedition that went on in the nation's capital last week, because that's pretty much all anybody is talking about at the moment. I don't know about you guys. I saw a lot of posts about how people weren't ready to accept unity and healing. I haven't had any of my right-wing friends call for unity and healing. They are all further emboldened. They don't believe that violence occurred last week at the Capitol. They don't believe that it was a coup. I had an argument with one. It was like, well, they didn't succeed. I was like, it's still a fucking coup. I said it was fucking stupid. The dumbest people walking the face of the fucking planet trying to commit a coup. Jesus. But we've learned more about it over the weekend. They had pipe bombs they were trying to bring in. They wanted to kill Mike Pence. That's something. And that brings me to my point, is if they wanted Mike Pence, why didn't everybody at the Capitol, who I assume hates Mike Pence, throw him to the fucking wolves? We all agree, like, fuck Mike Pence, right? It might have appeased some people. We charge him later. We get rid of Mike Pence. It's a win-win-win-win. I see no downfall to this situation. God damn. No. I have one right-wing nut job who swears up and down that he's not a right-winger. He called it an act of civil disobedience. So there was no violence. But I know for a fact that that is a lie. I'm getting ready to prove that's a lie right now. Oh, there's Melania. We'll get to Melania here in just a second. Video that came out over the weekend showing just exactly what happened inside the Capitol.
We can take that place. And then do what?
How did a disorganized mob break into what's supposed to be one of the most secure buildings in the world?
That's a good question.
What?
I'm press.
No, you can't come in. Nobody can come in.
No, you can't come in as they march fucking past you. What?
We followed a group of Trump supporters as they walked into the U.S. Capitol and police officers stood and watched.
What's it planned? I have no idea. We got all day.
They didn't even know what they were fucking doing. They just thought they were going to go in there and stand around with their dicks in their hands. What the fuck? USA! Dumbest fucks walking the planet.
I love President Trump. He asked us to come out and support him, and I was glad to do that.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
We will never give up. We will never concede. And we're going to the Capitol.
That is him inciting sedition against this country.
And I'll fight with you. I'll fight next to you. I'll keep going. I love you all for being just having the balls to come here. I'll fight with you.
And so they marched.
Bust the doors down.
That's what they did.
USA!
All these politicians work for us. We pay their salaries. And we pay.
He's got a really nice beard.
And what do we get?
It is a shame that a man with that nice of a
They
beard
don't represent us. They need to pay the ultimate price for their
is that
crime.
fucking
An
stupid.
example needs to be made.
If you're scared of confrontation, do not move forward. Patriots, move forward. This is our chance to show
Jesus
how
saves.
serious we are.
Things took an ugly turn in the early afternoon when hundreds of people breached the building.
This is the people
There was one picture I pulled up, and I'm like, is this America? Because I didn't realize there was like a scaffolding around the Capitol that I wasn't aware of.
Every single in there is a traitor. Every single one.
String them up!
Police fired tear gas into the crowd.
Barely. We watched it live right here on this stream. Honestly, the most the Capitol Police really tried to do was pepper spray them.
We were shot with some kind of clear liquid from all the Gestapo squad.
The Gestapo squad.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Throw it away!
Now, we also watched a video last week of police letting them in a barricade, and apparently that wasn't actually the barricade to the Capitol. It was a different, like, overflow seating section. Overflow standing protest zone, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Stairs is where we need to go. Do it. Let's do it. Damn right.
And we were watching all this happen from like a wide shot. I was just stunned.
This way! This way! This way!
As the mob entered the building, police officers stood and watched.
Yeah, what the fuck? Do your jobs.
One woman was shot inside of the Capitol and died.
Now, she was close to Congress people.
Police pushed everyone outside.
I heard a really loud bang. We all thought it was like a flashbang or something like that, but a girl got shot. You can see the blood.
What, you mean like looking stupid and not succeeding?
At least 5 people died, including a police officer.
Let's not confuse
Some Trump
rednecks
supporters stood proud
with
of
these
what they
dumb
did.
fucks.
This is America, and we're all here to fight for our freedom. It is not their America. It is
Redneck
our
is a term that originates from union miners wearing a red scarf around their neck, to signify to other miners that they're union. So let's not soil the name of rednecks. This is some CNN video I think just aired today of some of their reporters getting attacked. Of course, after a word from these fun sponsors. 2 minutes in the middle of the mob. I just want to really illustrate. These are very violent riots at our nation's capital.
Who are you with? There's more of us than you. There's more of us than you.
And like at the time when we were watching it, I'm like, hey, like you can have Nancy Pelosi. That's probably who you want, but you got to take fucking Mitch McConnell first. You got to take out Trump first, and like that's who you're wanting to install Trump as a dictator. I'm not down with that. If it was a different fucking cause, like hey, storm the fucking Capitol to install a dictator, and especially Trump as a dictator. Like it'd be different if it was like Vermin Supreme you're trying to install as a dictator. Now that's a friendly fascist. He wants to give us all a fucking pony. I'm down with that. But if you're wanting to install Trump as a fucking dictator, I'm gonna have to fight back against that one.
You gotta get through them! You have to come through me! That is not us! You get the fuck out of here before you get hurt! This is not us!
There's a Kyrgyzstan flag.
Let's bring in Alex Marquardt, you just saw there, the CNN senior now.
Most certainly Nazis trying to take over our nation's capital. And I know people that cheered it on. and that are still cheering it on, including people that are supposedly like the Blue Lives Matter kind of crowd. But here we have video of a cop being fucking crushed. Oh, we gotta click the sensitivity settings because it's so fucking shocking. But I was told this wasn't violence. This was civil disobedience, I was told. By a dumb fuck, absolutely. But of all the things to storm the Capitol over, fucking Trump, that's the thing that hurts me the most. Is that the stain on our history as a country? The thing that inspired these fucks to storm the Capitol was Trump. It's not some fucking awe-inspiring story of liberty. You didn't storm the Capitol in defense of democracy. You stormed the Capitol against democracy. Holy fucking shit. His gas mask was ripped off. Damn. Representative Pramila Jayapal. So I want to get her words right, so I don't want to say it. It was no accident, she says, after surviving the siege on Congress. Was sitting in the gallery above the House chamber watching the proceedings to count the Electoral College vote and certify the result of the presidential election when armed right-wing rioters breached the Capitol building and began to make their way inside. She said there was a number of congresswomen up there in the gallery: Val Demings, Abigail Spanberger, Sheila Jackson Lee, and before anything had really happened, we noticed that there were very few women on the floor. The first challenge was going to be the Arizona Electoral Challenge, and of course, the speaker was a woman, and she was presiding. California Representative Zoe Lofgren was one of the people managing the proceedings. Almost everyone in the Arizona delegation, and I guess everyone who was seated on the floor who was going to speak, were men. Interesting. As we sat there, my husband texted me, "There's a big mob of protesters. Are you sure you're safe there?" And honestly, we're watching it live. I'm showing the different shots. I've got the Senate and the House up at the same time, but I've also got the live shot of the protesters that we keep going back to. And like, it never even occurred to me that they would get inside, because I just assumed in this fucking police state we live in that there would be some sort of perimeter. I can't believe I witnessed it. Before we knew it, everyone on the floor below us had been removed, and we were still there, and it didn't look like anyone was coming to get us. The Capitol Police with us seemed very confused about who had the key to the doors. They were closed, but they weren't sure if they were locked. And we were yelling, "Lock the doors, lock the doors." We heard shots being fired, presumably into the chamber. But now I'm going to assume that's the shot that we've seen of the woman getting shot in the neck. So Rebecca Traster asked her what was going through your head while you were waiting to get to the secure location. Representative Jayapal says, "My biggest concern was honestly for people's safety. I think we all understand, but particularly as a woman of color and an immigrant woman of color, what happens when you have white nationalist, armed, violent individuals. And make no mistake about it, that's what happened. The threat is extremely real. Thank God they didn't get their hands on Representative Jayapal, Ilhan Omar, AOC, fuck, even Nancy Pelosi. I'm no fan of Pelosi. You can only have her marching out to the gallows if McConnell and Trump go first. Quite a few bankers. If we're breaking out the guillotine, Pelosi's on my list, but she's pretty far down. So just out fucking rageous. And we also have another representative whose motives need to be questioned. Representative Lauren Boebert, who we've already talked about. She hasn't been in Congress but a fucking week now. And boy, has she already gotten herself into some shit. Americans call for full investigation of GOP Rep Lauren Boebert for tweeting Pelosi's position during the riots. So she tweeted out that morning, today is 1776. So amplifying the rhetoric already heard from the right-wingers on the Parler, which I guess, oh yeah, that's right. Let me go share the show out on Parler, because I get a lot of views of this show on Parler on the free speech platform. Oh, that's right. Parler isn't a thing anymore. Because honestly, if you were on Parler at any point in time, it's just a cesspool. Well, the people that were there at the Capitol were never fans of Pence anyway. Pence was always a get for the other wing of the party, the evangelical wing. That was to garner Trump the support among the church activists and shit. No, the QAnons, like, they're fucking stupid, and I'm sure they hated Pence. They probably think Pence is sacrificing children for their adrenochrome too. But here's Lauren Boebert. We were locked in the House chambers. The speaker has been removed from the chambers, tweeted out as the events were going on. 2:18 p.m. She's also the congresswoman who apparently is carrying a Glock while she's in the Capitol. So why wasn't she up there with the Capitol Police playing Charlie's Angels or some shit? Why wasn't she shooting some rioters? Instead, she's a traitor tweeting out the position of the House leadership. What the fuck? Trump and Pence speak for the first time since Capitol riots. It's breaking. Just about an hour ago, President Trump and Vice President Pence met in the Oval Office on Monday, marking the first time they've spoken since a mob of Trump supporters breached the Capitol on Wednesday during the certification of the 2020 electoral votes, blah, blah, blah. The two had a good conversation discussing the week ahead and reflecting on the last 4 years of the administration's work and accomplishments. That sounds like some bullshit. Does anybody here actually believe that they sat there and just like, it's been a fun 4 years, hasn't it, old Pensy boy? And they had like a beer together and reminisced? Fuck no. And I'm sure Trump was livid. I would have loved to have heard what went on in that conversation. Maybe one day we will. It's one of those things that might go into the presidential archives, though. Like, 75 years or something it's released. I won't be alive to see it. Be fun. Maybe it's 50 years. I don't remember what the fuck it is. Because, like, Nixon had that place bugged. I don't know if it's still fucking bugged. The men agreed that those who broke the law and stormed the Capitol last Wednesday do not represent the America First movement backed by 75 million Americans. To bend a fly on Pence's head. Ah! I'm sorry, but that is exactly the people. That's exactly this is a whole fluff piece. This is from The Hill. Because Trump watched the riots in the White House and was enjoying it, apparently. Pence and Trump went several days without speaking. That's another thing, like I asked. Pence had plans to leave the country after the Electoral College vote. Apparently he didn't. He was going to go tour Jerusalem or some shit. Now, one of the things that fascinated me about this whole story was the national security fallout. All the things that they're going to have to do because they breached security in the Capitol. So now, like, every electronic device has to be, like, tossed. All, like, mice, keyboards, webcams, everything has to be rebought. They've got to take the plates off of all the electrical outlets. Anything with a power cord has to be inspected to make sure it's not tapped. They have to go over the Capitol with a fine-tooth comb. This guy's been arrested. We're going to get into all the arrests here in just a little bit. Especially people being pulled off planes. Oh, so I didn't even realize there had been things stolen. Said it will likely take several days to flesh out exactly what happened, what was stolen, what wasn't. I mean, I guess the podium was stolen. There was the door stolen. Electronic items were stolen from senators. There was all the dude had the documents from Nancy Pelosi as well. We have to do a full review of what was taken or copied or even left behind in terms of bugs or listening devices, said Representative Ruben Gallego, raising the possibility that foreign adversaries could have easily infiltrated the crowd that encircled the Capitol. Now, I will argue with the fact that it would kind of be a little hard to infiltrate the crowd unless those foreign adversaries were, you know, from the Eastern Bloc or something. They were Russian. Because they would definitely stick out, you know, if they were Muslim or Chinese or something like that. So, let's talk about impeachment here in the last couple hours. It looks like Schumer is exploring an emergency session for Senate impeachment trial. They've talked about Mitch McConnell does not want to vote on it or doesn't think they can vote on it until the 19th. The speculation is he's just punting it down the road. The move would require cooperation from Senate Republicans, which there are some on board. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer is exploring whether the chamber can be called into an emergency session for a trial of President Donald Trump on an article of impeachment in the House that the House is set to approve this week. The Senate is currently in recess, and bringing senators back before January 19th would require support from Republican leader Mitch McConnell, who remains majority leader at least until Inauguration Day. McConnell hasn't said whether he would back impeaching the president or expediting the trial. I don't think he would. The House is poised to charge Trump with inciting the insurrection at the Capitol on January the 6th, unless he resigns or is forced out of office by his cabinet. It doesn't look like either of those things are going to happen. Now, we did have the picture. Hold on, did I save it? From some governmental website. I might not have saved it. I'm sorry. Yeah, that Trump's term ends tonight at 7:40, which would have been, what, about 50 minutes ago? So I've got to do two different kinds of maths to do that, so sorry about that. I got to do the maths on the minute, and then I got to do the maths on the hour. It's just, it all works out horribly for me because I don't do the maths well, and I am like really fucking stoned right now. Yes, a disgruntled IT person or something like that. I meant to save the picture though. I found it interesting. The Media Winch has entered the chat. Good evening. You missed all the bullshit. And you came just in time for the Queen.
To the certifying the Electoral College vote.
AOC talking about impeachment with George Stephanopoulos.
In the spirit of healing and fidelity to our Constitution, we ask that you formally request that Speaker Nancy Pelosi discontinue her efforts to impeach President Donald J. Trump a second time. A second impeachment only days before President Trump.
I think it was Kevin McCarthy said all this bullshit.
As it is inflammatory.
Inflammatory my ass.
Impeachment.
Well, you know, I think there's a couple of things. One is we have to understand that what happened on Wednesday was insurrection against the United States. That is what Donald J. Trump engaged in, and that is what those who stormed the Capitol engaged in. And so when we talk about healing, the process of healing is separate and in fact requires accountability. And so if we allow insurrection against the United States with impunity, with no accountability, we are inviting it.
The gas mask are just wild to me.
That is how serious it is. And I do not believe that perhaps my colleagues weren't in that room. Perhaps my colleagues were not fully present for the events on Wednesday. But we came close to half of the House nearly dying on Wednesday. And if a foreign head of state, if another head of state came in and ordered an attack on the United States Congress, would we say that that should not be prosecuted? Would we say that there should be absolutely no response to that?
Oh, good Lord, we'd spend $3 trillion over 10 years bombing their own country.
And we must have accountability because without it, it will happen again.
AOC is absolutely correct. Republicans blocked impeachment for today. I believe it comes before the full House tomorrow. Here is Biden on impeachment. I believe this was on Friday.
Announcing your economic team. We've learned that House Democrats are currently planning to introduce articles of impeachment against President Trump as soon as Monday. At that point, it'll be just a little over a week before the president leaves office. Do you believe this is a good idea?
Look, I've thought for a long, long time.
Bonging it up for Biden.
President Trump wasn't fit to hold the job. That's why I ran. And my job now, in 12 days, God willing, I'll be President of the United States of America. And I'm focused on the urgency of three immediate concerns. One, the virus.
We are 9 days away now.
Getting the
you should watch it right here on the Troll Patrol,
the way it's
noon Eastern time.
Been very, very sad. Number two,
Wednesday, a week from Wednesday.
4,000 deaths yesterday. And things continue to rise, to escalate. That's my number one concern, to get the virus under control.
And oh my God, the amount of people who died yesterday. We're at 4,000 people a day dying from coronavirus. And it's just going to go up because our numbers are just off the fucking charts right now. And it's going to compound on each other. We will see violence on inauguration. They're also talking about something on the 17th, but we're also going to talk about other threats of violence. There's several credible threats. That's why there is no parlor anymore. There are several credible violent threats against our government. I don't know what the inauguration is going to look like, because isn't it like a lot of it virtual? I know he's going to be there in DC and they have built a stage, but apparently a lot of, because like Jimmy Carter isn't going to be there, and good, Jimmy Carter shouldn't be there, as much as I'm sure that he hates that he's going to miss it. Preserve Jimmy Carter.
Control. We lost over 125,000 jobs this last month, and people are really in desperate shape. And so I'm focused on the virus, the vaccine, and economic growth. What the Congress decides to do is for them to decide. But I'm going to have to, and they're going to have to be ready to hit the ground running.
Now, I am telling you right now that he does not want them to go through with impeachment. He's already on record saying he wants to go forward. It's another Obama. Cover up the crimes of the previous administration. I'm not down with it.
Because when Kamala and I are sworn in, we're going to be introducing immediately significant pieces of legislation to deal with the virus, deal with the economy, and deal with economic growth. So we're going to do our job, and the Congress can decide how to proceed with theirs.
But if a Democratic member of Congress were to call and ask for your advice about whether they should proceed with this, what would you tell them?
I'd tell them that's a decision for the Congress to make. I'm focused on my job.
I think the Congress has spoke.
Did you speak with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi before this decision was made, or is that conversation that's still going to happen?
I'll be speaking with Nancy and the Democratic leadership this afternoon, as a matter of fact, about my agenda, as well as whatever they want to talk to me about.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, better to be a child sniffer than an alleged pedophile like Trump, so... At least the only rape allegation against Biden, she was of a consensual age. Trump's many rape allegations include a couple of children. So, weigh your options, guys. 22 retired GOP members of Congress call for Trump's impeachment. Former Representatives Barbara Comstock, David Jolly, Charlie Dent, Tom Coleman. It's a real all-star list, wasn't it? Damn, guys. You couldn't muster anybody better than that up? Shit. Now, there are a few current GOP representatives. One of them is the representative from Michigan, Peter Meyer.
It's something we're strongly considering at this point. Again, you know, there are timelines and other considerations and additional information, you know, that I want to have before making that decision affirmatively. But again, I think what we saw
what else do you need to make the decision affirmatively? Like, have you seen all the videos we just watched just now? What else do you need? But at least it is a bipartisan effort to impeach the motherfucker. Now, because Republicans are always desperate to make themselves out to be the victim, it is a recurring theme over and over again. Some Republicans say they voted to challenge the election results because they felt concerned for their safety. That was the guy we just watched, Peter Meyer. Said that while some GOP members of Congress share responsibility for misleading the supporters of President Trump, others feared physical violence if they opposed objections. So you're saying you're not a man. You are saying you were in a position of leadership in what's supposed to be the greatest country on earth, and you don't have any fucking balls. They were being lied to. They were being misled, he said of demonstrators. Some of my colleagues in Congress, they share responsibility for that. Many of them were fundraising off of this Stop the Steal grift. It's true. It is a grift. Thank you for calling it out, Meyer. But he said some of them had legitimate concerns about the safety of their families, that they felt that their vote would put their families in danger. He said he knew in their heart of hearts that they should have voted to certify. They're cowards, is what he's saying. He's saying he's in a party with a bunch of fucking cowards. I could have told him that. Armed protests planned in all 50 state capitals, according to an FBI bulletin.
It's a plant-based change of pace.
Starting this week and running through at least Inauguration Day, armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals and at the U.S. Capitol. The FBI has also received information in recent days on a group calling for storming state, local, and federal government courthouses and administrative buildings. They are just going to continue to be emboldened unless we see their heads fucking cracked on the pavement. I don't know why it didn't happen on Wednesday. We stayed on the stream the whole time because I thought when we got to curfew, we'd see some right-wing protesters get their comeuppance. It never happened. The FBI received information about an identified armed group intending to travel to Washington, D.C. on the 16th of January. They have warned that if Congress attempts to remove POTUS via the 25th Amendment, a huge uprising will occur. By huge, they mean their fucking asses. Federal law enforcement officials have advised police agencies to increase their security posture at state houses around the country following the riot at the U.S. Capitol. And of those precautions, the National Park Service has suspended monument tours due to credible threats. All tours to the Washington Monument suspended through January the 24th. Groups involved in the January 6th riots at the U.S. Capitol continue to threaten to disrupt the 59th presidential inauguration, leading them to make changes to protect the public park and resources. But now, what did I tell you about Republicans always making it out to be them as the victims? That it's really, they're the ones being victimized by
the Republican Party,
the left.
For a while, and I'm concerned that folks like Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger and others might view this as an opportunity. But Jesse, the reason Democrats are talking about impeachment is because their hatred of Donald Trump.
The reason Democrats are talking about impeachment is because he committed sedition against the United States. That's the reason why Democrats are talking about impeachment. Not your perceived hatred, not your fucking feelings, Matt Gaetz.
Because their hatred of Donald Trump is really the only thing that unifies this current constituency of Democrats.
And I had to listen to somebody from the party that spent fucking 8 years with a seething hatred of Obama. 8 years, fucking 12 years. They still talk about him nonstop. They bring him up constantly in arguments. Fuck. And he wants to talk about a hatred of a president. Jesus Christ.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Democrats.
I haven't said it tonight, but just so you remember, right-wingers are fucking morons. The absolute dumbest fucks walking the planet. All right, go on, moron.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez Democrats have very little in common with the Nancy Pelosi-Joe Biden Democrats other than a dislike of President Trump. And so they're trying to keep together what is likely otherwise an ungovernable coalition on these absurd grounds. But the tragedy is that it will harm the country. But they don't care if something hurts the country.
He helped. He helped with the insurrection. And then has the unmitigated gall to get on national television and say Democrats are hurting the country. Fuck you, Matt Gaetz.
If it helps them consolidate and take power, and that is
my God.
Democrats as we have this discussion. Well, there's secretly been an anti-Trump caucus.
I am flabbergasted. The audacity, Matt fucking Gaetz. Fuck you, Matt Gaetz. Speaking of audacity, Melania Trump asked, has no one stopped to think of how the Capitol Hill attack affected me? I'm hoping this isn't a real fucking quote. But at this point, nothing is going to surprise me. First off, she doesn't actually reference the insurrection that occurred in her husband's name until the fourth paragraph of the statement, at which point she says her heart goes out to the people who died. Next, she says that she is disappointed and disheartened with what happened last week. So far, so good. But you thought what she was disappointed and disheartened about was the insurrection caused by her husband that led to literal bloodshed. You thought wrong. What she's actually teed off about is what she perceives as attacks on Melania Trump, writing, I find it shameful that surrounding these tragic events, there has been salacious gossip, unwarranted personal attacks, and false misleading accusations on me from people who are looking to be relevant and have an agenda. This time is solely about healing our country and its citizens, says the woman married to the man who just led an insurrection against the country. It should not be used for personal gain? God damn. But now, you guys know why Melania stays with him, right? I hope you guys are all aware. It is because that,
with the social
I'll let Hogan Gidley say it here. He says it better than I can.
media crackdown, does he feel emasculated, especially as he heads out of office?
Look, I wouldn't say emasculated. I mean, if the most masculine person I think to ever hold the White House is the President of the United States. But
with the social media crackdown, does he feel emasculated, especially as he heads out of office?
Look, I wouldn't say emasculated. I mean, if the most masculine person I think to ever hold the White House is the President of the United States. But
with the social media crackdown, does he feel emasculated?
So there you have it. The reason Melania stays with Donald Trump is because he is the most masculine man to ever hold the presidency of the United States. More masculine than Teddy fucking Roosevelt. Abraham Lincoln. More masculine than General Dwight D. Eisenhower. Fuck, he's not more masculine. He's probably the least masculine president we've ever fucking had. Jimmy Carter could kick his ass. Jimmy Carter could kick his ass. Even today's Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter at 90-something years old could kick fucking 70-something-year-old Donald Trump's ass. I'll take that bet. Make that fight happen. Where's Dana White? Book that one. But I mean, he inspires masculinity in all of his supporters. So what can I expect? This gay Trump supporter was at DC over the weekend. Was at DC last week. So let's see what he's got to say about his experience storming the Capitol.
Storming the Capitol, we stormed it. It was successful. We stormed the fucking Capitol. And for all you bitches on Facebook going crazy right now talking about it was Antifa fucking being infiltrating and that it wasn't us, it was us. We proudly took back our Capitol. I'm only here in my hotel room to get some gear on. I'm going back, baby. They brought the National Guard out for us and shit. We had the fucking cops running. They ran from us. And not because they're bitches, but because they're smart. I just got back from storming.
Oh, shit. The Adorable Deplorable is his name. So, he gave an interview to the Orange County Register where the Adorable Deplorable said that he drove all the way back from California and was receiving death threats along the way from both opponents and supporters of Donald Trump. They found out he was gay and they started threatening him. I'm scared, he said on the verge of tears. I fear for my life. I do regret not doing my research and not knowing what people were there. I am proud we took back our house, but I thought we took it back peacefully, he said about the protesters who violently pushed through the Capitol security and entered the building with bombs and other weapons while calling for Mike Pence's execution. And he claims that he never went inside the Capitol and instead just ate sandwiches under a tree outside of the building. Now that part, I totally believe. There are other people who did terrible things and should be arrested, he insisted, explaining that he's worried that he's being investigated by the FBI. The FBI is not commenting on individual investigations. Hold on, is he cute?
It was successful. We stormed the fucking Capitol. And for all you bitches on Facebook going crazy right now talking about it was Antifa fucking
Alright, I might top him. He all right.
I hope you're fucking.
Okay, so this is a rant that is making its way around the internet. Corey, Ryan, Forrester, several people have raved about it, so let's give it a watch, shall we? Corey, my friend, take it away.
I hope you're fucking happy and sad, you fucking little piss.
I am.
Pieces of shit. Ooh, we're gonna storm the Capitol. Let's storm the Capitol. We're patriots. You're a fucking coward. Patriots. Jesus Christ. Fucking idiots that I played high school football with wearing a goddamn American flag bandana talking about we gotta get up there and storm. We gotta take our country back. From what? From fucking what? What are you so goddamn upset about? What has anyone ever done to you? You fucking entitled piece of shit. Don't you ever fucking call me one again. Don't you ever say, Corey, you fucking snowflake. You're a liberal. That means that y'all look. What? Want some people to not be sick every now and then? Is this the thing that you can't fucking stand? So you've got to get in your goddamn fucking piece of shit Ford F-150 you got from your dad, drive it to D.C. and pitch a fucking fit? Is that what it is? Is it health care? Is it still with the fucking guns? Is that what is it? You said Obama was taking them. 8 fucking years ago you said that. Nothing. What is it that this country...
They're still talking about Obama and guns.
You literally got escorted out of the Capitol building aside from the ones that they had to fucking shoot. Is that what it takes? Did you just want to be a fucking martyr? God, you're so fucking pathetic.
It's embarrassing.
You not ever just sit there and think, my kids are going to see this. My grandkids are going to see this.
They had their kids there.
And you're going to look like the dumbest motherfucker in the world. Nobody will give a shit about Watergate. Nobody. That is fucking... Dude, I'm out of breath from how stupid y'all are. What is it that this country doesn't give you that you think you have to do some bullshit like this? But when you see a fucking black person actually get shot, no gun in their hands, nothing. Oh, they should just comply. Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's why I had right-wingers comparing it to BLM. And I'm like, fucking BLM is exactly what the founders had in mind, man. Like, a man has the state with its fucking knee. The state has their knee snuffing the life out of a man on an accusation without trial. That's exactly what the fucking Constitution is about. That's what the founders were talking about when they were talking about watering the tree of liberty. Was rising up against tyranny, like the state having its fucking knee on somebody's neck. God damn it. These motherfuckers stormed the Capitol, and I've seen them compare it to revolutionary times, to compare it. Say the founding fathers would be for it. Are you shitting me? To storm the Capitol to overturn democracy? Fuck, I'm amazed Benjamin Franklin didn't get out of the goddamn grave and come and bitch slap you. It'd be Thomas Paine. Benjamin Franklin was a bit of a pussy.
You. Fuck you. What is your goddamn problem?
Fuck you.
Just quit embarrassing me, man. I want my fucking country back. How about that? God damn it. Fuck y'all, you fucking cowards.
Well, if I knew that all you had to do was scream into a camera and yell a lot of profanity and tell people to fuck off and call them morons, I would have been doing that for years. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you want to watch people get arrested? One of the trends today on Twitter and on Facebook. No-fly list. People who attended the Capitol riots being taken off airplanes. Being removed. I love people clap. I hope you're embarrassed, you pieces of shit. Hope you're proud of yourself. He yelled, "Treat me like a black person." Boo. For some reason, they start playing like Layla on one of them. Well, not the cool part of Layla, like the end. We'll come back to the audio here in just a second. This is the West Virginia delegate we watched get arrested. He has now resigned. I can't, Dale something or other, Dale Evans or some shit like that. Oh, watching them get arrested is so sweet. I don't even know who's being apprehended here. What's going on?
The airplane.
Oh my God.
Take your IDs and your boarding passes. You can leave your personal belongings.
Hey, she's already got her MAGA hat on, everything.
Do not get involved in the altercation or you will not reboard. And
Thank you. Have a good day.
We're gonna have a great day.
Oh, I was wrong. That's not a MAGA hat.
Have a good day.
Oh,
Bye. Bye.
Hey, officer, what is she gonna do with her kids? Can you just answer her? We got this, okay?
I like the female thing is kind of surprising to me.
We got this. Thank you for
Was there a lot of females storming the Capitol?
I have 3 minor children. Please record it.
Yeah, we
Close
got
it
somebody to
everywhere.
take care of them. We got somebody to come take
My
care of
children
them.
are not going to any facility.
No problem. How many you have?
She's like Russian or something.
How many is it?
Maybe we did have some foreign agents in there. Or maybe that didn't have anything to do. With the MAGA supporters being arrested.
The search for a man who invaded U.S. Senate chambers last week with a weapon and hand...
Zip tie man. Now this, like they absolutely were talking about on Parler and on Reddit threads about how they wanted to take hostages. About how they wanted to tie up Congress people with zip ties.
Handcuffs has come to an end right here in Nashville. The FBI arrested Nashville bartender Eric Munchell after people banded together on
a bartender
to discover the suspect's identity. News Channel 5 chief investigative reporter Phil Williams reveals how they figured it out.
Do you understand?
Within hours of the assault on the U.S. Capitol, social media quickly turned its attention to photos of a masked invader in the U.S. Senate gallery. A weapon on his right side, holding zip tie restraints like those used to take prisoners. On his head, a cap from Black Rifle Coffee. On his chest, a State of Tennessee patch with a thin blue line used to show support for police.
Not the only one from Tennessee arrested.
Images of the man walking to the U.S. Capitol with an unidentified woman, which led...
Live stream, you want to say hi? What up, dog?
To this live stream video showing the pair enjoying drinks after the riot in a Washington hotel lobby. The man still wearing camouflage and empty holster on his hip.
Just a taser, but the police came and took it away from me. They did. They didn't like it because of tonight. They said I couldn't open carry a taser.
Those images somehow led from Washington to Eric Munchell's Facebook, where a live stream video showed him and others heading to the Capitol talking about plans to force their way inside.
It's my house. It's our house. We paid for that. We built that.
Other internet detectives uncovered these pics of Munchell at a protest in Nashville.
I don't know. What is up, dog?
Blue line patch on his chest. And his own Facebook showed him posing with a gun. President Trump.
He's so proud of himself.
Cap in the background.
When something's trying to drive you towards not being unified, that's where you got to be careful. That's where you got to watch.
Other social media video shows the pair entering the Capitol.
You can disagree with it, but respect it.
passing police who offered no resistance. As to what drove the Nashville bartender to join the mob or what he intended
Do tell.
with those zip tie restraints, that isn't clear.
Oh, no, well, I mean, clearly he's wanting to take hostages.
Now that self-proclaimed patriot sits in a Nashville jail.
He's a traitor to the country.
Conduct inside the very seat of democracy. Photos and videos we've seen do not show Eric Munchell carrying those zip tie restraints into the Capitol. It's not clear whether he brought those with him or if they were among some reportedly stolen from Capitol Police storage facilities. Phil Williams, News Channel 5 investigates.
So social media outed him. This guy got outed by his ex-wife. Air Force vet who stormed Senate floor with zip tie handcuffs. Larry Rendell Brock, 53, wore a green military helmet and body armor in dramatic photos showing him among the insurrectionists who made it all the way to the Capitol's inner sanctums, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's private office. So that's this guy right here. Narked out by his ex. The witness explained that she was Brock's ex-wife and that the two had been married for 18 years. The witness also stated that she recognized Brock wearing a military-style helmet, khaki pants, gray and black fatigues over a military vest, and a patch from his military service. The witness stated, "I just know that when I saw this was happening, I was afraid he would be there." They might have even fucking divorced over his love of Trump. Trump cock has ended so many relationships. I think you already know he was there. It is just such a good picture of him, and I recognize his patch. The affidavit said video shows Brock walking out of the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives Nancy Pelosi's office. Brock's tactical gear included a skull logo for the Punisher, the Marvel Comics character co-opted by white supremacists and followers of the far-right conspiracy theory group QAnon. Stick with us. I have some footage of Alex Jones talking about QAnon, and you guys are going to love it. We're almost there. Several of these white supremacists have now lost their jobs. Capitol rioters lose jobs after social media users identify them. You gotta love the internet. Several participants in the pro-Trump riots at the Capitol building this week have lost their jobs after companies were able to identify. Now that's scary. Companies using some kind of facial recognition software or some shit. Now if it was just people fucking narking on them, I got no problem with that shit. That's free speech, bitches. After companies were able to identify them in images and videos posted on social media. Or just people like fucking Susie from HR just cruising the fucking internet. Oh shit, that's Joe. Fucking climbing the Capitol wall. Shit. 5 people died, including one Trump supporter. Rioters broke through windows. One of the individuals arrested was Bradley Ruckstels, CEO of Chicago-based marketing data company. That's another thing. This is a bunch of fucking yuppies. Some bourgeoisie fucking assholes posing as fucking rednecks and shit. They all have decent houses, big-ass trucks and shit. It's an accident of birth and just coming up during the right time. They tend to be baby boomers. Some of the later Gen Xers. That's the kind of people we're talking about when we talk about Trump supporters. He's been charged with unlawful entry, according to a press release from Capitol Police. Cognesia? Holy shit, I have no clue how to say the name of this. Cognesia. Fuck. Tweeted on Thursday evening that it placed Ruckstels on a leave of absence while we assess further. Our CEO, I don't even know how that works. Is it like a board places the CEO? Like, who tells the boss to go sit at home? He later tweeted out that my decision to enter the Capitol was wrong and I am deeply regretful to have done so. It was the single worst personal decision of my life. I have no excuse for my actions and I wish that I could take them back. Real estate agent Libby Andrews' job has been terminated by her employer. Properties in a Facebook post on Thursday said it had received a tremendous amount of outreach. Regarding the actions of one of our agents, Libby Andrews, yesterday in Washington, D.C., effective immediately. At Properties is terminating this agent. You about to lose your job. One Texas-based attorney, Paul Davis, is no longer employed by Goosehead Insurance. The company announced in a tweet on Thursday. Associate General Counsel is no longer employed by Goosehead. An attorney! A fucking attorney! Davis has posted videos on social media discussing his participation in the riots. In other posts on his Facebook stories, Davis claims he was peacefully demonstrating the whole time and was not trying to actively break into the Capitol. In Pennsylvania, St. Vincent College announced that Rick Saccone, a former Pennsylvania state representative, will no longer be associated with the school, where he served as an adjunct professor. They said they've launched an investigation. Maryland-based Navistar Direct Marketing also announced on Thursday that it had terminated an employee after he was seen storming the Capitol building. So, look at this shit. If it isn't the consequences of our fucking actions. Off-duty cops from all over the country were in D.C. during the Capitol coup attempt because, of course, they were. Several of them flashed their badges to gain access to areas. The growing number of probes follows an announcement from the Seattle Police Department on Friday that 2 of its officers had been put on administrative leave, pending an investigation into allegations they were in the nation's capital during the raucous events. Not only were there police officers in the crowd, but now several hate groups have been identified. But then again, that statement was a bit redundant. Police officers and hate groups, right? Because it's kind of obvious. Members of several well-known hate groups identified in Capitol riots. The Proud Boys. We knew that. The Oath Keepers. What's up, 16 Tones? Good evening, my friend. I'm assuming the 3 percenters were there without me even fucking finding it in the story. I saw Baked Alaska. Oh my God, so many hate groups along with cops. But the gay Trump supporter is not the only one begging for forgiveness. Rioter, pictured hanging from Senate balcony, is begging for forgiveness.
We're pissed. I just got in the white. I just got in the Capitol building. I was the first one. I hopped down into the chamber, and I was the first one to sit. And Nancy Pelosi, that bitch, she's a traitor. She's treasonous. But I sat. like, I'm sitting here and I don't know what to do. Like, you know, I'm in downtown DC. I'm all over the news now. But like, I'm just like every single one of those people that was marching, like a peaceful protest, came here to represent America, we're tired of being.
I'm assuming you're not every single one of them anymore. I'm assuming you're arrested.
Stealing our freedom, stealing our liberties. And, you know, I didn't hurt anybody in there. Like, yeah, I did sit in Nancy Pelosi's seat. Like, she shouldn't be there. She's not. She doesn't reprimand.
So it was him the day of. But now Colt is begging for forgiveness. Back home in Idaho, he told the Boise CBS affiliate, "I love America, I love the people, I didn't hurt anyone, and I didn't cause any damage in the chamber. I got caught up in the moment, and when I saw the door to the chamber open, I walked in, hopped down, and sat on the chair. I said my piece, then I helped a gentleman get to safety that was injured, and then I left. And I sincerely apologize to the American people. I recognize my actions that have brought shame upon myself." The reason he's saying this is because Sean King identified him, and he's all over social media. That's the only reason you're having an about face, dude. "I recognize my actions that have brought shame upon myself, my family, my friends, and my beautiful country. In the moment, I thought I was doing the right thing. I realize now that my actions were inappropriate, and I beg for forgiveness from America and my home state of Idaho." Dude, if you're going to storm the Capitol, at least stand fucking behind it. But now, if we're lucky, just these people we've spoke of, all the people being dragged off planes, the cops that are being investigated, hopefully not just these people will be held accountable for what happened last week at the nation's capital. The DC Attorney General intends to prosecute people for inciting a riot even if they are elected officials. To which I say, sir, bravo. Congressman Mo Brooks, my congressman, told the crowd of fans of President Donald Trump that American patriots must start taking down names and kicking ass mere moments before Trump called on the crowd to march with him to the U.S. Capitol. Mo Brooks, you are a traitor to this country. Beyond being a dumb fuck. Trump lawyer and advisor Rudy Giuliani similarly calls for violence to the audience. Donald Trump Jr. called for a total war. As if the Attorney General was looking at holding the president accountable for his role. Sure, Andrea, as you know, the OLC opinion says the president can't be prosecuted. That's the Office of Legal Counsel. Their opinion says that the president has never been prosecuted. That has never been scrutinized in a court of law. We've never challenged that opinion. While the president is in office, Racine says, as it turns out, the president has about 9 more days of office, and of course, the investigation is going to go on much beyond those 9 days. It will be another legal question as to whether the president can be prosecuted after his term of office. I think the better weight of authority answers that question affirmatively. And I'm not targeting the president or anyone else, they said. I'm just saying the D.C. Office of the Attorney General, and I'm heartened that the U.S. Attorney also said the same thing. We're going to follow the facts, and we're going to go exactly where the facts lead. Just facts, ma'am. All right. I think I just did like fucking Friday as Elvis, and that was wrong. I fucked that one up. Alex Jones is how we're going to end the evening tonight. Usually Alex Jones is not the fun ending to the show that I enjoy, but this one This one's good. So, let's hear what Alex Jones has to say about this caller bringing up QAnon.
Tells us stuff in all of its lies, is what I'm saying.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. Because you're full of shit. That's why. Because every goddamn thing out of you people's mouths doesn't come true. And it's always, oh, there's energy, and oh, now we're done with Trump. You said he was the Messiah. You said he was invincible. You said it was all over. They were all going to Gitmo. Now, oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one, and I know what you are now, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks and pumpkin possums and everything.
Alex Jones is sick of all the witches and warlocks. And all the gay frogs. This is the guy that said, like, Obama smells like sulfur and shit. This is the Bohemian Grove guy. What the... is that... He's so fucking entertaining. God damn. Let's go back. Let's go back.
Over. They were all going to Gitmo. Now, oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one, and I know what you are now, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all these witches and warlocks and pumpkin possums and everything. Oh, God. Sorry. Bye-bye, Q. I can't talk to you anymore. Jesus, Lord help me. Oh. You broke all that. We know that. I'm saying.
I can watch it again.
Is what I'm saying.
You keep interrupting me.
Because you're lying. Because you're full of shit. That's why. Because every goddamn thing out of you people's mouths doesn't come true. And it's always, oh, there's energy.
But, like, how many people have wanted to yell that at Alex Jones? Because you're lying. Oh, fuck.
Oh, now we're done with Trump. You said he was the Messiah. You said he was invincible. You said it was all over. They were all going to Gitmo. Now, oh, he's part of a larger thing of Q. I will not suffer your Q people after this. I knew what you were day one, and I know what you are now. And
why have we had to suffer him this long?
Of all these witches and warlocks and pumpkin possums and... Oh, God. Sorry.
Ah, he cracks himself up. I understand, Alex. I do it all the time myself. Oh, shit. But I just... Like, is he listening to himself? He's the one that does all that shit. What the hell? Oh, God. Alright, that's gonna do it for me tonight. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm gonna send you guys over to SJW9000. Tell him the Freak Daddy sent you. Oh, I may watch Alex Jones a few more times after this. Alright, go ahead, light one up, tip one back. It's alright to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm Justin Freakin. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol. Live.